Hey, what's up affiliates? It's Jamie here. I want to say a very warm welcome to you and thanks very much for joining me in today's video. Got something a little bit different for you guys today, and if you've been struggling with this thing up here and getting it to work for you in order to actually get the results that you're after, then stick around. This video is going to be for you. Hey, how you doing guys? It's Jamie here. I want to say a very warm welcome to you and thanks very much for joining me in today's video. If this is the first time on the channel, welcome. My name is Jamie. I cover internet marketing, affiliate marketing, how to get started online, and pretty much all things digital. If any of that's of interest to yourself, I'd invite you to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to smash that bell icon to stay up to date with everything I'm putting out. Little caveat at this point though, if you're after all the fancy stuff, the whiz-bang whistles and bells and stuff, and all the fancy editing, you're probably not going to find much of that stuff here. It's just me talking about my 9+ years of digital marketing and affiliate marketing related experience. I'm just trying to cut through some of the BS out there, help you guys out with some very, very fundamental things to kick off your affiliate business. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So I've written a few things on this board here, and this is actually part of a training that I did for a couple of students of mine, so consider yourselves lucky. Anyway, we talk about a lot of these concepts in the Super Affiliate Accelerator, which if you're interested in learning more about that, click the button below. Got about 245 students, I think, absolutely smashing it with their affiliate results and focusing on building very powerful brands through the program. So check that out via the link. Anyway, number one, mindset. Why is that there at the top of the page? Well, here's the thing. I think a lot of people, when they get into affiliate marketing, they think, great, I just need to learn funnels, I just need to learn email marketing, I just need to learn how to set up complex ads, I need to put myself out there on YouTube, and I need to do all this stuff, right? And I'm not disputing that some of that stuff is actually important, but of course, the thing that most people gloss over, like only give it a fraction of the attention that it deserves, is mindset. And in my opinion, you're looking at about 85% of your results are going to come from your mindset. And I know that this is a very cliche thing, that stuff. I know that a lot of people say this type of stuff, but then I don't think a lot of people really ingrain it into them how important it is. So I've told this story before, but my big breakthrough came not because I learned new tactics. It wasn't because I learned new stuff. I already had a lot of that knowledge, like I say. I've been doing it for a bunch of years now. But what it really was is that I was able to focus on one thing that was able to get me those results. I was able to simplify my business, and I was able to expand my mindset in a way that allowed me to go from very close to nothing. I was earning some commissions, but it wasn't all that fancy, to hitting well over 10K per month and beyond ever since. So mindset is the most important thing. This one here. Now I'm hoping you guys can read all this, by the way. I apologize if you can't, so I'll just read them out anyway. Money loves speed. What do I mean by that? The thing is that you could think for a long time about whether or not you're going to do something. You could write a piece of copy on a page, and you could procrastinate over that for a long time, forever basically, right? So the point is that you got to basically get something out there in order to test out whether it's going to work or not, because the truth is that no matter how many years you've been doing this whole thing, a lot of it, after you've learned a few basic principles in terms of sales, marketing, branding, copywriting, certain things, the bulk of it is going to come from you testing things out and having that confidence, which ties into your mindset. It comes from the belief that, okay, if it doesn't work this time, I just need to tweak a few things here and test a couple of angles and change the copy here, rather than just going, oh, that didn't work, I give up, right? So money loves speed. You've got to get something to market as quick as possible. So if you've been sitting on the sidelines, you're thinking, oh, and I need to be better at this before I start. You don't. You just need to start and you'll become better at it, right? So I'm not saying fake it till you make it when it comes to any of this stuff, by the way, but your confidence is going to come from actually taking action and getting the ball rolling when it comes to all that stuff, right? So that's important. Number two on the list there, or three technically, but two is done is better than perfect. And case in point, this very video you're watching here, it's just, I'm just in my apartment, hence the very not great lighting. But I know that the value I'm providing in this video is going to resonate with someone out there. And I'm not trying to target every single person. If you're after, like I say, after the whiz-bang, fancy editing and all the nice stuff, you probably won't find it on this channel. But like I say, I know categorically I'm still delivering value. So done is better than perfect. And so what happens is a lot of the time, coming back to this first one as well, people don't actually launch anything because they think, oh, it's not, maybe if I adjust this thing over here, maybe if I have another step in my funnel, and maybe if I don't really like those ads, so I don't, I'm not going to put the go button on the ads just yet, and so I'm not going to do any of that. So you're better off just going, you know what, I'm going to launch something, and I'm going to fix it up as I go along, which comes back to that one, money loves speed. And you also want to basically go, you know what, it doesn't matter if it's perfect, I can make it perfect as I go. That's business for you. The other one on our list is you don't need permission. Again, this is something that we talk about often in the Super Affiliate Accelerator, where what our goal is, among other things as well, is to like I say, cut through the BS out there, teach people about the fundamentals of sales, of marketing, of branding, of offer creation, because without all that stuff, all the fancy funnels and all of this, that, and the other thing doesn't really mean all that much, right? So check that out if you're interested in having a look at it. It's probably not going to be for most people, but I know that the students going through it are getting some incredible results. So, but it is another thing that we do talk about. You don't need permission. And the reason I mentioned that as well, the SAA, is because one of the things that we do try to teach people is that people will inherently follow a leader. And what does a leader do? They don't seek permission, they go out and test some stuff out. They go and try things, they see what works, what doesn't work, and they then create content based on those results. So you don't need permission, you don't need to seek validation from people, whether it's a mentor or an associate or your family, especially not your family. No offense, love my family, but they will throw spanner in your works all the time. Unintentionally, a lot of the times, not that they're trying to be mean about things, it's just, they're treating you with their own life experience, and sometimes people don't necessarily feel comfortable when you start breaking outside the little bubble, right? But you don't need anyone's permission. So if you've got an idea, just test it out, see what happens. What's the worst that could happen? Make peace with the worst case scenario, and you'll find even just doing that, you'll just get a lot of confidence. Even if it fails over and over and over again, if you know that that's part of the game and what you need to do, and you don't give up, then that's half the battle, right? So you don't need permission. You don't need validation. You don't need to get anything from anyone. Just try something out. Just launch the funnel. Just hit the go button on the email autoresponder. Try launching that ad. See what happens. Of course, make sure you're within the realms of compliance, because the ad networks, as we know, don't like a lot of the stuff that we try to put out there, which is a bit frustrating. But anyway, now this is another one. So if you're following along with what we teach and what you can learn on this channel, one of the things that I talk about a lot is basically our entire process is to do with building a relationship and a foundation with people, foundational relationship with people. And so this one here is really important. If you're going out there to help people, and you're going out there to help them with the idea that they are then going to owe you money, sometimes that can work. I'll throw that out there. I'll say sometimes it can, but you're better off having especially in a sales environment in particular, a nothing in return mindset, NIR mindset. This is something that I learned from both my mentor, Jacob Karras, and Frank Kern as well. And so this is something that if you think about it, and you don't want anything in return when you're helping people out, when you're providing value, when you're doing these YouTube videos, for example, then it makes the whole process a lot more enjoyable. Of course, I would like to impact people's lives and help people out, but it doesn't matter to me if no one watches these things. It's okay, I'm completely fine with that, because I know that there's going to be certain people out there that are going to resonate with my message, that are going to get value from my videos, that are going to watch things that I'm creating right here and go, damn, this Jamie knows this, what he's talking about. Of course I do, I've been doing it for years. No, I'm kidding, I'm always a student of what I'm doing, by the way. It wasn't meant to be an ego stroke or anything like that, but I have learned a few things along the way. I will put that out there. But I'm still learning, like I say, I'm a student of this business, right? So when you've got a nothing in return mindset, especially in a sales environment in particular, then you're not needy. And if you're not needy, you come back to this other one that we're talking about, which is creating leaders. You're taking the alpha role in the conversation. It means that you're able to guide people to work out whether the solution that you have is going to be the right one for them. And if you're able just to say, look, don't think this is the right pathway for you, and you're quite comfortable in saying that, there's a lot of power and a lot of confidence that can come just from that alone. And the thing is that the trust that you build with your audience by actually telling them the truth and saying, listen, I would love to have you as part of this program. I just don't think it's probably going to be the right fit for where you're at right now. Imagine how much more trustworthy that is, because it's actually the truth, rather than trying to get them to do something that you know is not going to get serve them the best, right? So nothing in return mindset. Now this is another one here. I don't know. Again, I apologize if you can't read that. It says 7.4 something, and that's because when I did the training originally, I ran out of room, and because I write like a small child, as you guys can see. It didn't quite come out according to plan. Anyway, there's 7.4 billion people in the world, 7.4 something billion, hence the something. I don't know what the exact figure is, but anyway, it's more than I can count. And why do I tell you guys that? Because every single day there is new people coming onto the internet, and I mean that quite factually. There's people that are ringing up a telco company and saying, hey, I would like to get broadband or whatever installed. I don't know what you kids call it these days, and they're new to the internet. There's new people coming into your niche, your industry all the time. There's people that are experiencing all sorts of things in their lives, and they are fascinated by this pathway. There's over 2.4 billion people on Facebook alone. That's just one platform. Of course, there's others on Instagram, on Pinterest, on Twitter, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, on frickin' you name it. I don't know, whatever else is there, right? There's people everywhere. There's your target market everywhere. And when you truly believe this and you truly ingrain it into you, that there's ample opportunity for every single one of us for lifetimes to come, then it makes this stuff here, the nothing in return mindset, infinitely easier, because you're not worried about any one lead, any one conversation, any one person that you speak to, whether they buy or not. Doesn't really matter, because you're just out there trying to find your people that you can help. And so imagine that if you got even a tiny little slither, just a tiny fraction of this as people that you can help out, how much impact would that make on your life? Freaking heaps, basically, is the answer, right? So that's the thing. And when you truly ingrain this into your messaging and your understanding, then the world starts to open up a little bit more, because you realize, oh man, okay, if all I need to do is just find a way to get the awesome product I have in front of just a couple of those people, some people are going to jump on that opportunity. Just like some people are going to click that link below, check out SAA and jump on that opportunity. I know that's going to be the case. So that's why I say all that stuff, right? So if you can ingrain that into you and really, really deeply understand that there is just so much money floating around, there's so much ample opportunity out there, it's ridiculous. We have unbelievable ability to get in front of an audience, to create content just like this. This is free. Got my mobile phone, that obviously cost me. I've got my sheet of paper, which obviously cost me a couple of bucks. But that's it, like no makeup, no fancy lighting. We have a remarkable ability to get out in front of our audience. So that's the other thing. And like I say, these all tie together, because that's, if money loves speed, and especially when there's 7.4 billion people in the world. The other thing is, and this is something that's kind of important, and again, I apologize if you can't read this, it says your journey. And what I mean by that is, you're walking your own path. You have your own life experiences, you have your own setbacks, you have your own beliefs, your subconscious biases, you have your own experiences, and everything that ties you together to make you. And that is beautiful and unique and absolutely amazing. When you are deciding to create a personal brand, no one can compete with you. There is no competition with you, because you are walking your journey. You have your own story, you have your own amazing successes, your own setbacks, your own heartaches, everything. That's what goes into making you. When you've got that as a personal brand, it's very powerful, because people will like you for whatever reason. A lot of people just won't like you for whatever reason. That's completely cool. Everyone's, it's their prerogative to do whatever they want, right? But you can't compare what you're going through, and you can't compare your journey with someone else's. So if you happen to see other people that are succeeding and doing all that stuff, just have a moment to think about what your reaction is to that. Because if it's a negative one and you're thinking, oh man, why is everyone else doing well and little old me sucks, whatever, you're not doing yourself any favors. And so, like I say, when you go through this process, and I know building a brand sounds pretty scary for most people, it's not. It feels scary when you're starting, but you never, apart from rare exceptions, I guess, you're not usually great at one thing when you first start doing it. it takes a long time before you become proficient at it, and then become very, very proficient at it. And that's the same thing here. But like I say, don't compare yourself. It's your journey, and just remember that if you are going through that process of building a personal brand, and you're getting in front of your audience, people will resonate with your message. They will resonate with who you are as a human being, and eventually you start creating fans, you start creating customers, and you start creating people that you can genuinely help, because that's your journey and they can relate to that and they like you because of that. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, they just like it, and it's pretty damn cool. So anyway, hopefully this helps, guys. Like I say, mindset is 85% of the battle. And if you're not actively working on your mindset, then I do highly encourage you guys to do so, because without it, all the tactics, all the stuff really doesn't matter. And as some of you guys may have noticed, because obviously I've been doing this videos for a little while, you would have seen a bit of a metamorphosis in my content, the way I'm producing content. And that's quite simply because I felt that it was more important for me to just speak from the heart, based on my experience along the way, and hopefully help a few people out, and that all comes back to that, because it's mindset end of the day, right? So anyway, with all that being said, my name's Jamie. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you would like to check out our mastermind, click that link. Otherwise, look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thanks very much.